Doug MPA back with another video. I got some pop culture here for you guys. So I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie last night. It was fantastic. I've been waiting my whole life for a good Super Mario Brothers movie, and Illumination pulled it off. As I've been a fan of Mario since I was 7 years old, and I got my first Nintendo, which I still have, by the way. And this is everything I wanted it to be. And we could finally wash the taste out of our mouths that 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. And guys, in the comments section, did you guys remember that movie? Have you guys seen it? Because I tried watching it again in anticipation of this movie to see if that movie was really that bad, and yes, it was that bad. Let me know if you've seen that movie, and then let me know if you've seen this movie and how'd you like it. So I chose the Montclair because this is a college paper from Montclair University in New Jersey. It's the second largest public university in New Jersey. And there's a culture war going on between critics and fans. Current video game and movie critics have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know what's good and what's not. All they say that's good is anything that will keep them in favor of big production companies or anything pushing a certain agenda and a certain message. So that's why you'll see movies where the audience score is bad, but the critic score is good, and vice versa. The Super Mario Brothers movie, the current critic score is low, but the audience score is very, very high. And I chose this paper because this is a college paper, and this is showing you that this culture war isn't going away anytime soon, because these are the college kids writing for this paper. This is what they think about the Super Mario Brothers movie. We're going to have a lot more years of film critics pandering to these studios, pandering to an agenda being pushed, and the fans are going to be the only ones to say, well, what's good out there. So we're going to start this. This is the Super Mario Brothers movie Misfire by Danny Krastik. I'm assuming that's a man, but this is a public college in 2023, so it might not be. Danny, is Danny still a man's name? I'm just playing. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm about to make so many enemies. Okay, here it goes. Well, way to start your article off edgy, bro. Good job there, Danny. It says, it has been almost 2 years since Nintendo made waves online with announcements of the voice cast for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Some choices were praised, Jack Black and Charlie Day. Some were met with shrugs, Anya Taylor-Joy and Keegan-Michael Key. Some were met with hysterical laughter, Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen. Regardless of the quality of the voice cast, the movie had a whole new level of hype built around it, and that's true. Ever since they announced this bad boy, I've been wanting to see this, and most of the people I know wanted to see this movie too. It says, it's been almost 6 months since the first trailer of the film released. In that trailer, we finally got to hear Pratt's voice for Mario, and let's just say it made some waves. Anticipating was building, and I knew I needed to see this movie. It saddens me deeply to report that the Super Mario Brothers movie is an incredibly dull affair, and no, you can't use it's just a kids' movie as an excuse to defend it. Animation can be and should be a medium for people of all ages to enjoy, not just children. And even more specifically, kids' movies almost always have elements for adult parents to enjoy. The people complain all the time about not treating animation like a style for kids, so don't do the same thing with this. And I can agree with him there. It's just all of the best animation movies have adult stuff enough to capture the adult imagination, and then they keep it dumb enough or low key enough where the kids can enjoy it too. But unfortunately, with the current age, you saw Lightyear and Strange World from Disney last year. Making kids movies for adults always involves putting the modern day message into the movie, and that's not how it's supposed to go. And that's probably why they left that out of this movie. Is I digress. Where was I? Going back and forth between nice things and mean things about this movie, there's a lot to analyze. So let's see what Danny has to say. Pro, animation. This one is a no-brainer for me. Illumination did a great job bringing the iconic characters to life on screen. The movie looks wonderful and lively. And that's true. This movie looked fantastic. It looked great. Con, story and plot. Yeah, it's a movie based on a game where all you do is run, break blocks, and stomp on the occasional enemy. So I'm not sure what you could do in terms of making a compelling story. But this has an incredibly boring and generic plot. Heroes show up in a magical new land and have a goal to achieve. Of course, so there's a big, scary villain. And a lot of the critics of this movie are talking about the plot. How many Mario games have we played where Mario has to rescue Princess Peach? What else did there need to be? See, what they wanted was Mario was going to vote for the orange man, and then Peach was going to vote for, the Democratic candidate, and would they be able to complete the quest and overcome the political their political ideology differences and somewhere meet in the middle of the aisle? Or maybe Luigi was going to have a gender identity crisis or something like that. That's what they wanted in this movie, and I'm glad Nintendo kept it out. These type of movies should be escapism. I don't want to hear about the real world in my escapism movies, guys. I don't want to hear it. So, pro score. The score is pleasant enough, but then every so often they throw in a reworked version of a typical Mario game theme. It's pretty awesome and really immerses you in the world of the movie. Not only that, it was a great soundtrack, and where they put the tracks was really, really good too. Con, humor. It definitely doesn't have the same level of unbearable humor as other Illumination movies, but it doesn't land for me. Okay, no Illumination movie is as bad as Marvel now. Marvel puts way too much humor. Everything is just a pie slinging romp now. It's ridiculous. So I'd rather take Illumination humor over Marvel humor any day of the week. Pro, fan service. It's really weird counting fan service as a pro, but it's actually handled very well in this movie. None of the references feel forced or out of place. They were actually the more enjoyable moments of the film for me. And you see this right here. It says it's really weird counting fan service as a pro. Why is that? What's the problem with making fans happy with what they've grown up with? And that's the problem with a lot of modern film critics. They don't care about the fans. You make movies for movies that have an established IP. You make for the fans first. This is one of the fundamental differences between movie critics of old and movie critics now. Mix of the cast. This was, at least for me, the most interesting part of the film leading up to it. The cast list, as stacked as it is, features some extremely questionable decisions. Pratt gives an odd performance as a titular plumber. It's really hard to tell exactly what he's trying to do with his performance, but once you get used to it, it's fairly unremarkable. Look, he's one of those people where he doesn't like Chris Pratt, probably because of his beliefs. So that's what people have against him. They don't like that he's on the right wing. But he can't say it here. But this is what someone like that says, because I've read stuff like this before. Black and Dave playing Bowser and Luigi respectively are easy the standouts among the cast. Black was definitely born to play the power-hungry dinosaur man. And yes, I can agree with that. Jack Black, you can tell he was having a great time playing Bowser. You can tell. He's like, I'm going to knock it out of the park. I love this character. And you can hear it in his voice when he's talking. Taylor-Joy and Key are very forgettable. Key actually had his voice pitched up for Toad, and his personality very rarely shines through the filter. I could really care less about. Peach was good and Toad was good, but I didn't know who their voices were at the time, and I didn't really care. Surprisingly, Rogan was pretty good. He was definitely the right choice for Donkey Kong, as laughable as it sounds. Fred Armisen, who played his father, gives what is easily the worst performance in the movie, however. Yeah, I didn't really like the voice for Cranky Kong, but that's just me. Ultimately, this is a movie that doesn't seem to justify its existence. Now, that's going a little too far, especially with some of the trash that Disney has put out as of late. See, once again, you can't trust these film critics, you guys. And I know at the beginning, you're like, why did Doug MPH choose a college paper for this? He's punching down. With stuff like this, guys, I'm not punching down. This is the problem. He's trying to say this movie that please the fans, that is gonna hit $1 billion, it's fun for the whole family, doesn't seem to justify its existence. It's ridiculous. There are tons of references fans will eat up. So if all you're looking for is a mindless popcorn flick that will please your fan brain, you'll probably enjoy this. And that is what we're looking for, Danny. That's what we're looking for. That's what I got yesterday. You know what? I had some chicken. I went to one of those movie theaters where you could order food. I got a pile of chicken nachos, some freaking cookie bites, a Diet Coke. I had a great time with this movie, man. It was great. If you aren't a huge Mario fan, then it would be the most generic movie you could possibly ask for. The Super Mario Brothers movie is boring. is a boring, basic family film dressed up in blue overalls and a red hat. Danny, you're an idiot. Okay. And the worst part about it is he's gonna get a job somewhere. Okay, so there's gonna be a bloodbath of media sites in the next couple of years, but you best believe this Danny guy is probably gonna be writing for one of the few that are left. He's gonna get his little goodie bags from Disney to keep reviewing their awful films, and he's just gonna keep putting this out. This is the future, guys. This is a college kid that's headed towards media and is gonna perpetuate the current culture. Let me know what you think. Did you see the Mario Brothers movie? Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.